A.
T. We are from
SWAT.
My name is Pansel Alkana.
My name is Rezarivano.
My name is Reza Fermansyah.
And my name is Alffine. Now we are going to talk about
Pearl Harbour.
Pearl Harbour was a naval-based army from United States which located in Honolulu near Hawaii. It became the scene of devastating attack from Japanese forces on 7 December 1941.
Okay, so Japan and the path to war. The attack on Pearl Harbor was a surprise, but Japan and the United States had been edging toward war for decades. The United States was particularly unhappy with Japan's increasingly belligerent attitude toward China. The Japanese government believed that the only way to solve its economic and demographic problems was to expand into its neighbor's territory and take over its import market. To this end, Japan declared war on China in 1937, resulting in the Nanking Massacre and other atrocities. American officials responded to this aggression with a battery of economic sanctions and trade embargoes. They reasoned that without access to money and goods, and especially essential supplies like oil, Japan would have to rein in its expansionism. Instead, the sanctions made the Japanese more determined to stand their ground. During months of negotiations between Tokyo and Washington, D.C., neither side would budge. It seemed that war was all but inevitable.
Cut.
USS Arizona. The Japanese plan was simple, to destroy the South Pacific. This way, the Americans would not be able to fight back when Japanese spread their territories to South Pacific. On December 7, after months of planning and practice, the Japanese launched their attack. About 8 a.m., Japanese planes filled the sky over Pearl Harbor. Bombs and bullets rained onto the vessel moored below. At 8:10, a 1,800-pound bomb smashed through the deck of the battleship USS Arizona and landed in her forward ammunition magazine. The ship exploded and sank with more than 1,000 men trapped inside. Next, torpedoes pierced the shell of the battleship USS Oklahoma, with 4,000 sailors aboard. The Oklahoma lost her balance, rolled into her side, and slipped underwater. Less than 2 hours later, the surprise attack was over, and every battleship in Pearl Harbor had sustained significant damage.
In all, the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor crippled or destroyed nearly 20 American ships and more than 300 airplanes, dry dock, and airfield were likewise destroyed. Most important, 243 sailors, soldiers, and civilians were killed, and about 1,000 people were wounded. Moreover, the Pearl Harbor assault had left and most vital onshore facilities, oil storage, depot, repair shop, shipyard, and submarine dock intact. As a result, the United States Navy was able to rebound relatively quickly from the attack.
And next, after the Pearl Harbor attack, and for the first time during years of discussion and debate, the American people were united in their determination to go to war. The Japanese wanted to goad the United States into an agreement to lift the economic sanctions against them. Instead, they had pushed their adversary into a global conflict that ultimately resulted in Japan's first occupation by a foreign power. On December 8, Congress approved Roosevelt's declaration of war on Japan. 3 days later, Japan's ally Germany and Italy declared war against the United States for the second time. Congress reciprocated, declaring war on the European power. More than 2 years after the start of World War II, the United States had entered the conflict. That's all from us. Thank you for watching.